turns have tabled.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
You're finally at my party. You're a little late, but it's okay. It's still lit. I am the DJ. The dance floor is mental health. And the song that I've been playing is self-compassion. And you're finally here. But as long as you're here, it's okay. I guess it took a global pandemic for people to finally understand the importance of mental health. I guess it took a global pandemic for people to find out that being grounded is an extremely important practice. I've been seeing so many posts lately from this person and that person about how they're starting to recognize the signs of burnout. Oh my god, literally like man, I just want to give a special thanks to everybody. You know what? Cue the music. I just want to take this time to thank God for patience, more so than strength, because a friend of mine once said that I pray for patience rather than strength, because God knows that if he gives me strength, all these bitches will be wiped out. I also want to thank the haters, all the haters who said that vulnerability is weakness, that being sensitive, that being emotional is a sign of weakness, that burnout is not a real thing, that burnout is just a mentality and mindset. It's a lack of dedication, it's a lack of focus. Self-compassion is for the weak, that self-compassion is for the unmotivated, the self-compassion is for those who are basically made to be little bitches. I would like to thank the beast mode culture for promoting this idea that team no sleep is a sexy thing. And while dedication is a great thing and grind and hustle are very important, so is persistence and perseverance. At the end of the day, it's all about strategy. Self-plug. That's why my seminars, my speaking engagements are called Self-Compassion for Sustainable High Performance. And in it, I address the difference between self-compassion versus laziness. So when I talk about self-compassion, all you haters, no, I don't agree with laziness, but I also understand and acknowledge that it takes self-awareness and emotional intelligence to be able to recognize the differences. And that is a plug, by the way. Throughout the pandemic, I've had many opportunities to be able to speak virtually and share webinars. And the whole reason why I focus on sustainable high performance so much is because I believe in people's greatness and legacy. Legacy takes time, legacy takes consistency, legacy takes perseverance and persistence, but that means that sustainability just takes a different level of paying attention to details rather than just constant push and constant high intensity performance. That's how we lead to burnout, and burnout is now an official medical condition. And shout outs again to everybody who were talking shit. Thank you. But now that you're here, I'm so happy that you finally met me here, that you finally understand my language. I want to make this video as more so like a step 1 or 2. This is a very beginner guide. This is like 101 type of guidance to understanding what practical and effective self-compassion can actually look like. And I want to emphasize that I always say it like, this is what this can look like versus telling you this is what it is, because mental health is individualized and personalized. And this is why I always say that self-awareness is the anchor, because you literally have to know what's best for you, and what might work for you might not work for somebody else, and what might work for somebody else might look similar but different for you, and it's actually up to you to find out what that is. And so I'm seeing so many reposts nowadays on Instagram about this is what self-compassion is, this is what grace is, and I'm also seeing a lot of posts that cover the guilt and shame towards taking a break and stepping away and taking vacation days from work or training days. And this is literally everything that I've been talking about. But today I want to focus on step 1, on how to basically get you there. I'm a very practical, strategy, solution driven person, so I want to equip you with some reflection questions and practical exercises that you can do, literally do, and then take the next step after that. So many of us actually don't know what self-compassion can actually look like for each of us, because there are literally so many things categorized as self-compassion, including the stigmas. I always start my seminars and speaking engagements by addressing the stigmas of self-compassion. And these stigmas can be derived from society, from culture, from parents, parents and family, from coaches and teammates, from movies on ABC Family when we were little kids. Like, you can watch a football movie and they might say, if you want a water break, you don't want it badly enough.
You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak. Water is for washing blood off that uniform, and you don't get no blood on my uniform. Boy, you must be outside your mind. We are going to do up-downs until Blue is no longer tired and thirsty.
Those are just small examples of us conditioning us to believe that self-compassion is for the weak and for those who don't want it badly enough. You can Google this shit to find out why these stigmas exist in the first place, but one of the reasons why it may exist is because it's out of survival mode. Let's also acknowledge that, like, seeing a therapist has such a stigma until 2020. The development and awareness of mental health is still a very new topic. This can mean that the first practice that you can implement to understanding what self-compassion can look like for you is to unlearn what your current understanding of self-compassion can look like. So basically, you can literally take a sheet of paper, never do shit on phone, never do shit on computer. I always preach the importance of writing things down. You can literally list out everything that you've been taught about emotional well-being and self-compassion and whatever that might look like. What have you been taught about seeing a therapist? What have you been taught about taking a break? What have you been taught about rest days? Like, rest days are so stigmatized that now people get hard off of active rest days. You need a rest? Just fucking rest. Acknowledge your own misconceptions and misunderstandings and stigmas of what self-compassion may look like first. And then next to that, write a list of the exact opposite. If I were to pull out my list of misconceptions of self-compassion, it was self-pity, being self-centered, self-indulgence, weakness, excuses, lack of focus, lack of dedication, lack of motivation, shameful, embarrassing, and basically this notion that I don't want it badly enough. And those are just examples. Starting off this exercise can be really helpful because if you don't acknowledge what's currently real for you and you try to move on towards the understanding of self-compassion and continue your journey of mental health and well-being, there might be some things that come up that constantly collide. And that's why I keep saying self-awareness is always going to be the anchor. This is also why I always encourage practical strategies and not just reposting shit, because you can repost all you want, but what are you actually getting out of it that you can actually practically implement into your daily life? Self-work and self-development and the healing journey is an everyday practice. It's not just something where one day you have this epiphany and then like and then you all of a sudden enter a world of awareness. That's literally not how it works. I'm just excited that society is finally getting to a point where we can accept self-compassion and self-love versus behavior patterns of self-sabotage. That's another fucking thing. You gotta pay attention to who you follow on Instagram.